Namaskar. Education is not a bookish knowledge, not a pack of information, but it is human making. I am coming from Murshidabad district in the state of West Bengal. Murshidabad is one of the border district, one of the backward district, one of the poorest district across the country. In the year of 2002, when I was a student of class 5 and a boy of 9 years old, my father, Muhammad Nasiruddin, he was a school dropout who believes that proper education is man's true religion. He admitted me 10 kilometers far away school. And after returning from my 10 kilometers far away school, the students or the children like my age, they engage themselves with different works. Someone was working in the shops, someone was collecting garbage at the rag pickers. Many of them, they engaged themselves in the field work. They were grazing cattle. Girls, they were working at their houses. So I collected 8 of them, include my sister, who was my first student, and started teaching under a guava tree in our family backyard. That time there was no particular syllabus. Whatever I have learned from my own school, I love to share with those children. Gradually, it became my passion, my night's dream, my heart, everything. And number of students were increased, and it became a dreamland for the helpless children. And it was named Anand Shiksha Niketan, the home of joyful learning. So how it became the home of joyful learning? So after my 5th standard annual examination, I decided to inaugurate my school. So one day I invited a retired degree college principal who was very close to my father to inaugurate our school. It was in the year of 2003, just after my 5th standard annual examination. I collected sari from my mother and the village woman, made a pandal, and asked that retired degree college principal to inaugurate the school. He did that, and I asked him that what should be the suitable name for our institution. So throughout his observation at our school, students are taking their classes in joyful atmosphere. So it should be in Bengali, Anand Shiksha Niketan, and in English, the home of joyful learning. And at the same time, I visited local Ramakrishna mission that was 3 kilometers from my house. That is the first branch of whole Ramakrishna Math and mission. So the idea came in my mind. When I was in primary school, Ramakrishna Mission was the organization who came forward with school uniform. Even when we were affected by flood, they were the first organization who came forward with relief. So I thought that if I can meet with the monk, headmaster monk of Ramakrishna Mission, maybe he can help our students, our school. So one day afternoon, I along with my students met with him, shared about my journey. Obviously, he was amazed, and later he visited our school. He helped us, but that day he gave me a book of Swami Vivekanand and advised me to read that book at least 5 minutes in a day. And from that book, I had a quotation that was, "Service to man is service to God." It inspired me to continue my mission, and since then, Swami Vivekananda, he is my inspiration. And the another story. Here, most of the audience are from the students community. So every day I asked for the broken chalk from my school teacher. So out of curiosity, she asked why he is asking for broken chalks every day. Is he writing something in the blackboard or school premises? And my friends, their reply was, no ma'am, he started his school. Every day he is teaching in his village and he became the headmaster. He is using those broken chalks to teach his students. And she was so happy and came forward with a full box of chalk. So I am fortunate enough because of there was the enough family support. So my mother, she was the first person who came forward to help me. Initially, my father, he had an ambition to see me as an administrative officer. So he thought that if I can share my lessons with others, maybe my own education is going to be hampered. So he warned me not to continue this work. But again, I did the same thing. I gathered those children at a nearby village jungle. Again, he came to know that I am doing the same thing, and he became convinced that if I can do good, if I can share my knowledge with others, I can learn better. And if I can do good for the society, God will help him. So my whole family members came forward to help me. On the other hand, I had to suffer much, struggle much, but I did not give up hope. I hoped against hope and fought tooth and nail to combat all the adversity. So it was my first public speech when I was in 8th standard. Nobel laureate Amartya Sen, he invited me to deliver a speech in front of the teachers and students in his Pratichi India Trust. So when I founded my school Anand Shiksha Niketan, the home of joyful learning, the village elders were very skeptic to educate their children, as because they were not educated themselves. Hence, they used their children as the helping hand. To send the girls' children, there was a strong reservation. When I pursued to the parents to send their children at our school, the first question I was asked that how education will be important, even who cannot afford 2 squares meal a day, and to educate girls, they will not find husband. Actually, the early marriage problem was existed. On the other hand, there were lots of discouragement, jealousy, ill-motivated peoples, and religious biasness. But I ignored all the criticism and went ahead with my mission and vision. And nowadays at our institution, there is 60% are girls and 40% are boys. Not only that, this 19th October 2022, I am going to complete my 20 years of journey, and more than 7,000 students has passed from our institution, and we are providing them completely free education since inception to till date. As earlier I have said that education is not a bookish knowledge, not a pack of information, but it is human making. So we are trying to help our students to become a real human being who can positively impact our society. So our former students, mostly girls students, after their graduation, post-graduation and the Bachelor of Education, they came back as the teacher at our institution. They thought that they should do something for our society. So I am going to give you an example. One of our teacher, her name is Chumki Hajra. So when she was a student, she along with her grandmother went to Rajasthan as a migrant labor, but she came back. Again she wanted to get admission, but she had not money to attend any school, and her grandmother, she was a fishmonger. So every day morning she was selling fish door to door, and she came to know that my school is there. She came to admit her granddaughter at our school, and later that lady, she also approached me that how I can help you, I want to work with you. So in the morning she collected children from the village, especially the dropout students, and she was the great supporter for our institution. Later her granddaughter Chumki Hajra, she completed her graduation, Bachelor of Education. Now she became a teacher at our institution, and she is one of the dedicated and passionate teacher for our institution. Though I always love to say that I want to be a student forever. So morning I was the student and afternoon I became the teacher. So the love and realization, passion with patience, all these things were associated in my journey. And every year I got promotion in one class, and I also added one more classes at our institution. So now the school became like this. It started under a guava tree. Now it has 3-storied building with the help of the philanthropists and the well-wishers across the country, and a journey which was started under a guava tree. It is recognized by the West Bengal Board of Secondary Education, as an unaided institution. Throughout my journey, now I am convinced that nothing can stand against firm determination, firm conviction, and firm will. The only things you should have into your heart are courage, purity, honesty, and above all, love. Actually, I heard the call of love in the core of my heart, and I proceed and ultimately succeed. I think we should have the motto, we must do something extraordinary in this whole human life. We must leave a mark on the soil in this earth. So, when BBC called me as the youngest headmaster in the world, that time I was just 16 years old, and that time I became the TED fellow. Even I did not know what is TED. They asked me to speak in TED main stage. I delivered my speech in Bengali. Actually, I learned English alphabet when I was in 5th standard, not from the school. In primary school, there was no English subject. Only my father, he taught me English alphabet. Then I promised them that next time if I can get a chance to speak again, I will speak in English. So next year I delivered my speech in English, and I completed my graduation in English honors and master degree in English literature and double master degree in history. Though I want to be a student forever. So go on bravely. Do not expect success in a day or year. Always hold on to the highest. Be steady. Avoid jealousy and selfishness. Be obedient. Be eternally faithful to the cause of truth, humanity, and your country, and you will move the world. So now, education for all with equal opportunity, along with the quality education, human excellence, skill-based learning, especially the quality education. This is one of the sustainable development goal of United Nations. But this is not only possible for me. If the peoples like you, if the younger generation like you can come forward for the children who are still need education as well as quality education, holistic development of a student, and if we can work together for the betterment of the society, then only it is possible to achieve this goal. Education for all with equal opportunity. So I am not going to take much time. These two lines should be embossed on the tablet of our mind. Mileage to go before I sleep and mileage to go before I sleep. Thank you.